My name's Alon. It appears that nobody has shown up, but that's okay. I don't know about the quality of my webcam because I'm looking at this and my mouth is not moving at the same time as my speech. I apologize. I just bought it. Anyway, whether you guys stood me up or not, I won't take it personally because it is a Saturday night. And maybe that just means I've really done my job by talking to you and private messaging and emailing and in the group forum. That's how I'm going to choose to look at it. At any rate, at this point in the program, everyone's been about 3 weeks, except for Agathor, who's recently joined us, and Candrez, who is recently joined us as well, but then had an ankle injury and is attempting to do some things on her own that are somewhat strange, but can be beneficial. It's a fairly straightforward program. You have 4 approximately 30-minute workouts a week. Some people it might take 45 minutes. Some people it might take less than 30 minutes. It's like in the first 2 weeks, the ones that you had, they only take me 12 to 17 minutes, but I saw them taking a lot longer for other people, and that's just because you're taking more rest. No big deal. I didn't really expect anyone to be doing them super, super fast. And nor do I want you to when you're first learning these movements, because I don't want anyone to get hurt. We want you to get healthier, fitter, and lose some weight without hurting yourself. You injure yourself, you're set back, and nothing good's going to happen. The reason why it's just 4 workouts, 30 minutes a week, is because that's an appropriate amount for a beginner to get results. And it can be doubled up on, or have that 10-minute quickie added on for someone who needs a little bit more. And for those of you that are advanced exercises that also have other training, like for running or cycling or weightlifting, it's not too much that it's going to hurt you. So it's very adaptable for all levels. Plus, the workouts are slightly different for all levels. And in this last case, your D workout is often tailored just to that person. Like there's one person that has boxing drills. There's one person that has a lot of single side work. I tried to do my best to tailor it to you guys. Most of the questions that were there on the group page were about diet. And that's good, because you won't see results unless your diet's on point. You could exercise day and night, and if you're going down and hitting Burger King afterwards or going way over your macros with whatever, nothing's going to happen, and you're going to be mad at me and give me bad reviews. And Photocracy will never pay me again. There's a saying that results are 20% exercise and 80% diet, and I've seen that in my own experience to be true. Macros, I know, are going to be totally new for a lot of people. It's not just about counting calories. It's about making sure that you are giving your body the type of nutrients that it needs to support this new active lifestyle. Active people need more protein, because you will lose muscle if you start doing a whole lot of cardio activity, and the kettlebell work is part cardio, part strength. You'll see a lot of different things in studies, but the consensus for people who are fairly active is that they need 0.8 grams to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I've gone on the high side to start you with the 1 gram, and I've reduced a few people down to that 0.8, mainly because I didn't really expect some people to reach that 1 gram, and most people aren't. It takes a while to get used to that, and the rest of it is 25% of your calories coming from fat, which it seems like a very low number when I give you your spread, and that's because fat, it's much more calorie dense, so you don't need as much of it. And then the rest of it comes from carbs, and carbs are what are primarily going to give you your energy, so you don't wipe out. One person asked about alcohol, and I'm kind of glad that they brought that up, because we aren't living in AA societies, or maybe some of us are. And then Saturday night, probably some of you are out there having a few drinks. That's okay, as long as you're not being a lush day after day. You can still see results. The goal, even if you're going to have a cheat, like a couple drinks, or if you decide you want a hamburger, or anything that's not considered healthy, you still want to kind of stay within that calorie goal that you have. Stay within 10%. That way, even if you go a little bit over, you're not completely undoing your hard work. That may mean you may not quite reach your protein for that day, or you may not quite reach the amount of carbs you need. Some people have a harder time reaching their carbs. That's okay if it's every now and then. No one's going to be perfect, and it's just a goal. And as long as you're somewhat consistent, it's not going to affect your results. Another question was about doubling up on workouts. That's okay every now and then too. It's by far more preferable for you to have those 4 workouts on 4 different days. A, because it's going to build a habit. If you have a habit of exercising, then it's something that's going to go beyond this program. When we're done with this 8 weeks, you'll be like, well, this feels like my day to exercise. You're going to hit the gym, or you're going to pick up the kettlebell again, whether or not I'm telling you to. The other thing, there is a slight metabolic boost where you're going to burn more calories throughout the day. But most importantly, it's because it's going to build that consistency. Another question someone has asked me is about their active rest. And I do like to think that you would be moving a little bit more even on your rest days. Whether that's for a hike, or some people who are more advanced might go for a run. That's not something that's going to wipe them out. That's not going to break them down and make them unable to complete the workouts that are in the program. And that's fine too. I do a lot of outside of activity. A lot of it's for work, but I try not to let it interfere with my own goals. But most importantly, you do need 1 full day of rest. And I've been guilty of doing that many, many times, to where I work 7 days a week, intense workouts, and I'm not doing myself any favors when I do that, and I don't want to see anyone make those same mistakes. Back to the alcohol. I didn't really touch on everything I wanted to. When I see someone ask that, I immediately think, well, maybe they're trying to justify having those drinks every single day. And that may not be the case. But there was a point when I first started working out that I would try to short myself on calories so I could have those few drinks at the end of every day. And I did lose weight for a while. I lost like 25 pounds. I used to be a big girl. Some of you have seen the website. I had my before and after. Most of that I did lose very quickly in the first 6 months. I was not able to compete and get down to that shredded form that you see in my profile picture on Photocracy until I gave up alcohol. Now I can have a few drinks on the weekends, but it's not something I can do every day, and unless I want to gain a lot of that weight back. Alcohol has calories. There's a lot of debate about whether it's going to build fat or not, but I do know for a fact from my own experience that I could not get past a certain point in my weight loss until I curbed or actually gave up alcohol. Another question is about meal prepping. That helps a whole lot with your diet. Set the alcohol aside and just think about what you're putting in your mouth, food-wise. It's a lot easier for you to choose healthy things if you have food already prepared. Especially in a household where you have kids, or you have a husband or a wife that's not eating the same way that you are, maybe not even exercising like you are. So you don't want to reach for food that you might keep on hand for them. Like kids, you might have snack foods you stick in their lunches. I know my husband, he likes his cookies and all sorts of stuff that I can't eat. But if I get a hair up my butt, I am tempted. And every now and then I have splurged on things that I shouldn't. But if I have things where I can see them that are already prepped, like sliced vegetables, hummus, anything that you can grab easy out of that fridge or out of your cupboards that's a better choice, you're going to be more likely to stay on your diet. The easiest things to start with prepping is not think about every single meal that you're going to eat throughout the week. Think about half your meals, or whatever meal is hardest for you to keep up with. make a lot of people lunches. They're going to work, and so it's so much easier for them to grab something from a restaurant than it is for them to fix something the night before and take it with them. So if you go ahead and you fix up a big batch of chicken, I've talked about that before, beef, any type of meat or a protein source, beans, legumes for your vegetarians, anything that's going to be your main source of protein. Fix a protein, fix a carb, fix something. Fat normally falls in place on its own, and have a veggie, which is going to be a different type of carb. Then you're good to go. You have a starchy carb, a veggie carb, protein. Your fat's going to come from your protein, a little bit from your starchy carb, and if for some reason you're having trouble with fat, add some nuts or some seeds, and you'll hit your goal no problem. Start there. That way you at least have your hardest meal taken care of, and then you can worry about just prepping your dinner when you come home at night, because that's something that most people do anyway. It's their dinner meal. If you go out to eat, what I do I try to go to chains, may not be as fun, where I can look at their nutritional value, their menu, and I'll pick out what I'm going to order before I ever go, put it into my macros on my MyFitnessPal, and I'll plan my day around that meal. If I know that I'm going to have a meal at Olive Garden that's going to be half my calories for the day, and that I'm getting this, this, and this, then I know what to choose for my breakfast and my lunch. It doesn't have to always be a chain, though. You can get in the habit of being that picky eater that waiters don't like, saying, I need my chicken breast grilled. I do not want any butter. I do not want this. Basically say, give it to me plain and put everything on the side. Then you can choose how much of it you put on, and it's easier for you to log and have a realistic idea of what you're eating. I see I have one viewer. I had two earlier. I think the chat is open. So if you have any questions, feel free to type something in. I'll wait a second. Otherwise, I'm going to close this out, and I appreciate you guys dropping in. That said, I'm really proud of everybody, because we're only 3 weeks in. I've only seen your sheets for the past 2, and everybody's made forward progress. The first week, there was a little bit of weight gain here and that, and I tried to tell everyone that's not unusual when you start a program. It's fluid gain, especially if you're feeling real sore all the time. You're getting some fluid retention in your muscles. It's not a fat gain, and then everybody's weight went back where it should be. Some people had some really dramatic changes, and for this early in the program, that's just incredible. And I'm very proud at seeing how many people have stuck with it, because very few people have dropped out. Only 3, and 2 of them were due to injuries, not related to the program. They're prior ones, and it just was too much for them. I don't see any questions coming. I appreciate you guys staying in so long. I do apologize for the first hangout being a bust and the video not working. This one may not be so hot, but at least it's there. Have a good Saturday night.